This is the end of season. We are running out of fuel. Okay, so 65,000 Polish citizens of Jewish nationality from Krakow and its area killed by the Nazis during the war. 68, 60, 65,000, depending how you count and who is counting. And are you counting the villages around Krakow or not? Yeah, so we've got slight differences here. After the Second World War in Krakow, there were 2,000 left. In Russia, there were 3,000 Krakow Jews. They managed to escape to Russia and survive there. And one person from Krakow saved another 1,000. What's his name? Oskar Schindler. He took them to Czechoslovakia at that time, so they were not here at the end of the war as well, okay? So in Krakow 2,000, but total number Krakow Jewish survivors of the Second World War, about 6,000, which is about roughly 10%, yeah? And this is standard for Europe. That's everywhere. The place commemorating them is not chosen randomly. This is probably the oldest Jewish graveyard of Kazimierz and of Krakow. It's so old, nothing survived, and we're not even sure if it ever existed, but just in case, it's fenced around. The rock is here, and there's lots of small rocks around it. Any ideas why? Okay, so this is my version. Jewish people come from the desert land. There's no trees to make the coffin with, and the grave is going to be made in the sand. And if you do that, you just bury a person, just the body, in the sand. Next night, the animals will come. So in order to prevent it, you're gonna build a grave out of pile of rocks, like this. And then a couple months later, they slowly are going to fall apart, probably, yeah? So then you come back and you re-put the rocks. And then again you do that, again and again and again. With time, putting rocks on somebody's grave turned into a symbol of remembering, because you always come back for this person. You still remember them, yeah? So that's why the rocks. But since we are in Europe and we are talking about European Jewish people, there's also flowers and there's also candles. So we've got here a whole mix. Any questions?
Where do you bring the rock from?
The rocks from here. So they're from here, from everywhere. Yeah? Krakow is by the mountains, so we've got really rocky ground here. Next stop, back to the times before the war. We're gonna go to the 19th century then, okay? Go straight this way.